እዚህ እናንተ ወደዚህ ትመጡልናላችሁ እየጀመርን ነው ከኋላ ያላችሁም ሰዎች አረፍ አረፍ ብትሉ ጥሩ ነው ማረክ ትፈልጋላችሁ አላችሁ ታይም ብዙ ነው ኦኬ ጥሩ ኦኬ መጽሐፍ ትፈልጋላችሁ መጽሐፍ ከፈለጋችሁ መጽሐፍ ትችላላችሁ የጻፉ ሰዎችን ቅድሚያ እንሰጣለን ዱቤ ይማር የታለንትና ዲስፕሌይ ቢያደርገው ጥያቄውን ቢጫና አዎ ቢጫው ምናምን የተባለውን እዚህ ዲስፕሌይ ቢሆን ጥያቄዎቹን ከዛም እንትን እንዲያደርጉ ትናንት እንደዚህ አድርጋለሁ እኔ አይታችሁ ከነበር አላቀም ይዤ ቆም ያለው በጣም ብዙ ሰዓት ዶክተር ኤለስ ጨርሳችኋልና ጽፋችኋል እንዴ ወላሂ ስለዚህ ስጡ ዲስፕሌይ ዲውን እናንተ ለመጻፍ ጊዜ ይኖራችኋል መጨረሻ ለማቅረብም ትችላላችሁ እኮ አንድ ሳንት ላፕቶፕ ላይ ጽፉ እንደምን ላፕቶፕ ምን ችግር አለ የለም ያለው ከግሩፕ ውስጥ ከፒንክ ግሩፕ ውስጥ ፒንክ ግሩፕ ላይ ላፕቶፕ ያላችሁ ካላችሁ ጽፋላችሁ አለዛ ነው ፕሬዘንት አድርጊው ነው ፕሬዘንት አድርጉ በቃ እናንተ እየታል ይሄው አቦታይ የእንትኑ ኮስኖ ዲስፕሌይ አድርግልኝ የቢጫ የምናምን በፈለጉ ትራንስሌሽን ከአማርኛ እንግሊዘኛ ከእንግሊዘኛ ወደ አማርኛ አለ አንቺ በሚመችሽ አድርጊ በቃ በሚመችሽ የትኛው ፕሪፈረንስ አለ አይደል እሱ ለማለት እሺ ምን ግሩፕ ነበር ያለው ግሪን ነው የሎ ግሩፕ ወይንም ግሩፕ 3 ብለው ራሳቸውን አይደንቲፋይ አድርገዋል ስለዚህ ያቀርቡልናል ጥያቄው እዚህ ላይ ዲስፕሌይ ይሆናል ወይ ከጥያቄውም እየተነሳችሁ ሪፍሬሽ ለማድረግ ፓርቲሲፓንትን መጠቀም ትችላላችሁ ቴንክ ዩ
እሺ እንደምን ዋላችሁ ስሜ ሳራ ባላለኝ የግሩፕ 3
My name is Sarah, I'm a member of the team 3. Our question focuses on how to build up sustainable. Okay, I think this is not ours is the private company.
ሁሉም እዚህ ጋር አንድ አይነት እኮ ነው
ፎከስ የሚያደርገው የኳሊቲ ኤጁኬሽን ነው ከፕራይቬት
For us it focuses on quality education in partnership with private sector one focused on the challenge and the other one is how can we bring quality
ነው ይሄ አይደለም
አይደለም እንትኑ ከለሩ ትንሽ ተለዋውጧል መሰለኝ anyway
በቃ ችግር የለውም
በቃ ፕሊዝ
ጥያቄው which support is needed አለ አንደኛው
so we've been given a statement is it about self-employment is it about connecting it to the private sector when it comes to quality so what is the challenge and what kind of integrated capacity program should we consider to solve that the team assigned B they may add some ideas so do we have challenges yes 3 ways we saw the challenges one is the trainees and then the TVT and then the private sector so we saw it from the 3 angles so my presentation would touch all 3 do we have challenges yes we do have challenge what are they when it comes to the TVT we have the machinery but many times they are outdated and old but when it comes to the private sector the machineries revolve from like frequently but TVTs don't have the capacity to improve their machineries so we can This was one of the gaps. The other thing is governmental organizations don't read one another. For instance, if the TVET is giving a construction training on construction, the construction office doesn't acknowledge it. Many times they give them a standard COC examination, so on. And the other is on market assessment. We don't have market assessment. If they do it, it doesn't focus on the demand. The other is skill, attitude, and gap. There are gaps on the skill and attitude. In TVT, 30% is given theoretically in the classrooms and 70% is supposed to be in practice, but in reality it's the opposite. So what they do is 90% is in class, and maybe a few days they will take them, show them the machines. That's the 10%. This is not a good way of doing this, and we don't have a legal framework, especially one that forces the private sector. Private companies, they don't take apprenticeship as benefits. They're afraid that they will ruin their machineries. They won't do any work for me. So because there's lack of legal framework, they're not challenged. When we send, usually when we send, they make them do loading and unloading work. They don't give them the most delicate part of the work. When it comes to occupational standard, there's a standard, national occupational standard. Many times the occupational standard, it does not include the indigenous knowledge, and if that is the case, it won't bring the necessary change. And the other challenge on TVT is the students that come, the trainees, they want more soft skill knowledge. Maybe they just want to sit in an office, sign. They don't want to learn hardcore skills like construction and such things. And so this will limit the students. And the other is integration. There's no whether governmental NGOs, in all this there's lack of coordination. And the others, when it comes to gender, there's a certain type of jobs that are allocated for women, maybe tailoring, but when it comes to automotive, we say it's men's job. This gender issue is really damaging for the overall outcome. And when it comes to children, don't have other facilities. Maybe they don't have a daycare where they can put their children so they can come and get their training. So it's not gender sensitive, including toilet facilities. It may be one toilet both for men and women. So there are so many ideas that we have what should be done. One, the curriculum needs to be revised from time to time. It needs to include the local context. And the other thing is the 70-30 proportion. It needs to be implemented or applicable according to the rule. So they have to do 30% theoretical and 70% should be practical. On database, there's also a database issue. We don't have a database. After the people have graduated from this training, there's no trace study. The database needs to be strengthened. For developer partners, don't focus on service delivery. We need to look into skill and job creation trainings. There's no market-based assessment, but when we do the assessment itself, it needs to be participatory. If private sectors don't engage in it, it will not be that successful, because they're the ones who have the machineries, who have the ones who recommend what type of training you should be giving or you should be involving. So we need to train our trainers too. Many of the teachers, many of the trainers, they focus on the theory. But if we are to focus on the practical aspect, We need to do methodological trainings to them. We need to look into updating our machineries. There should be public-private partnership. There should be a platform for coordination. We need to engage the private sector. And the other one is the government should incentivize private companies. Private companies are a bit concerned if I let them use my machinery, there may be a damage. So the government should incentivize these things. Students, trainers that go to VT usually are considered to be weak in academic, and those who are good in academic go to the university. This mindset needs to be changed, especially on high schools. And the other is we need work discipline, soft skill. Earlier we've mentioned gender sensitive aspects. Thank you. Thank you. It's very good. We've divided in 4 groups. Group 3 has started. Which support is needed to call it to be? Yeah, that's the question. There should be trust. People need to be trusted. That's what Sarah was focusing.
ከነ የግሩፕ 3 አባላቶች እሺ፣ አንድ ጊዜ ሞቅ ያለ ጭብጨባ ብናደርግ ደግሞ ጥሩ ነው። ሌላ ማን ነው ሬዲ የሆነ የነ ዶክተር ኤልያስ ግሩፕ 4። ስለዚህ ግሩፕ 4 የሚያቀርብልን how to build overall coordinated educational program with stakeholders, how to link with the main development programs የሚለው ነው። ይሄ በጣም ይሄኛው ፋንዳሜንታል ጥያቄ ነው። ዶክተር ኤልያስ the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Actually, we really focus on the challenge and the way forward, because as you can see the question, there is much going in lowland development, in the main development program need much skilled workers. The connection between these development programs and capacity providers like TVET and the university should be improved. Here, from the start, what do we need to realize is the question. We need to realize sustainable lowland development. This is, according to our discussion, sustainable lowland development scheme has to have the 3 pillars, the 3 equally important pillars. Without considering the rangeland, we cannot develop the livestock. Without the livestock and the rangeland also, we cannot realize sustainable development in terms of socio-economic or improved livelihood. So these 3 has to be equally considered. So the universities also has to focus here and has to come up with a system to collaborate, to coordinate, and enhance and work in every 3 sectors. Those sectors have, different points like socio-economic. One of the most important, the institutions, the livestock insurance system are missing there, and also the infrastructure such as roads, market, value chain development schemes are missing there. So without doing those, without considering those basic interventions, we cannot, transform the livelihood of the pastoral or the lowland communities, and also we cannot realize production in terms of livestock. So here is, I took this one from my previous presentation. We need to collaborate, the TVET and the university and other stakeholders in terms of information and knowledge, because my sister here said those who join university are considered elite and better off than the TVET students. This kind of stereotype kills the TVET. So such kind of misconception has to be evaporated or has to be corrected. Here also on the policy and decision making, people has to realize the importance of TVET like they realize the university. So we need to collaborate here in every sector. So these are the main points that we identified to alleviate the challenge. Develop communication and cooperation platform for TVET and universities. capacity building on locally relevant and problem-solving intervention, attach development work with job creation, entrepreneurship, business skill, pastoral development. This has to be a work for university and other stakeholders to come up together. And also collaborate in providing alternative supplementary livelihood activities. Most of the training in TVET as well as universities are geared toward theoretical knowledge. So we need to come up and also show the student and the trainers with practical skill and knowledge. TVET and university linkage, resource sharing, and different things has to be there. And also there should be proper and monitoring, platform, so that we can capture the knowledge, we can transfer the knowledge, we can share and also learn from our mistakes. If we fail to do that, then things will go as usual, which is, rhetoric. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Elias. Just he was presenting the group 4, that is how to build overall coordinated educational program with stakeholders and how to link with the main development program. Actually, the group said there should be monitoring and evaluation how much people from the TVT have been hired in OMO, just you can say it, just even in Afar. So, just that's the monitoring they are really emphasizing. Thank you very much. Who's next group? Ready for presentation? Pink. ወደዚህ እንዲመጡ ይለመናሉ። How pink ማለት group 1 ነው። Group 1 how do we build up sustainable TVT courses ነው። አሁን ይሄ ስትራክቸር ውስጥ ነው የሚነግሩን። እናመሰግናለን። እባክዎ የቀጥሉ ስሞትን አልነገሩንም ለዛ አልጠራንም። መሐመድ please መሐመድ።
Okay. Our group 1 more focus on sustainability of TVT courses. For this, about the challenge, yes, the challenge is there. ችግር አለ የሚለውን ግልጽ ነው። ችግር አለ። ችግሮቹም መነሻቸው ተደርጎ የተወሰደ የመጀመሪያው
the things that were considered as the source of this challenges were the trainings are not market oriented and they don't consider the livelihood of the region, that they're not impact. There is a weak partnership, and what we considered as opportunity is the TVTs. They have the mandate to design short courses. That's an opportunity. They have acceptance by the local actors. That's another opportunity. And obviously the third one is there is job opportunity. So we consider this as opportunity. The solution for this, we saw it both in long-term and short-term aspect. For long-term, because many of the courses have issues, we need to revise the curriculum. But to revise the curriculum, it's time-consuming and has a long process. So there should be assessment, long-term assessment, and the revision needs to be done in a long-term assessment. The short-term, there should be need assessment, and they can develop the courses based on that. When they design the short course, assess the impact. Is it bringing change in the market? Is it bringing the needed change? Because this outcome determines the kind of job opportunity they create eventually. And then identifying gaps. They need to see their stakeholders and they can focus on the gaps. Many of their trainings need to be practical. And the colleges should not expect budget from the government. They need to work on income generation. The way forward, the TVTs, They need to share experience with one another.
ተማሪዎቻቸውን እንደዚሁ ኤክስፒሪየንስ ሼር
They
ማድረግ
should also share experiences with their students, especially those who have been employed. They need to come and share their experience. And the courses need to adopt the context, and the courses need to be flexible. When we assess and find new things, we need to be able to accommodate those in the course. They should not be uniform, but they should be flexible. And external support is very crucial, but the external support has to allow them to be close to the market and make assessment.
ሰስቴይነብል ቲቪቲ ኮርስስ የሚለው በጣም ፋንዳሜንታል የሆነ ነገር ነው። ግሩፑ ያየው ምንድነው ከአካባቢው ከምንፈልገው ጋር ይሄዳል ወይ ነው። እኛ ነገሌ ገጠር ውስጥ ሄደን የቲቪቲ የሰለጠኑ ሰዎችን አንዴ ስናነግር ኤሌክትሪካል ኢንስታሌሽን የተመረቁ ሁለት ሰዎች አገኘን። እዛ ቦታ ኤሌክትሪክም የለም፣ ወደ ከተማም ለመምጣት በጣም አስቸጋሪ ነው፣ ከተማውም የለውም። እና አንዳንድ ጊዜ ይሄንን እንዲታረም ነው ያስቀመጡ።
So we want you to rectify such problems. በመጨረሻ እንግዲህ ማን ነው በዚህ በተለይም በዩኒቨርሲቲና በተለይም ከቲቪቲ ጋር ያለውን ተጣምሮ ማሳደግ እና ማሻሻል እንዳለብን የሚለው ነገር ማን ነው የሚያቀርበው? አዎ እንግዲህ አረንጓዴ ነው እንግዲህ ግሩፕ 2 ነው ማለት ነው። በተለይም ከቲቪቲ ጋር ያለው
So we are going to hear Abdul Qadir መሰለኝ አደም ዶክተር አደም ከሰመራ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ያቀርቡልናል። The floor is yours, my brother.
Okay. Thank you very much. Group 2, yes, we are agree that there is a challenge. Strongly agree there is a challenge between integrations of university and TVT. What is required to address the challenge and build an integrated capacity program? The first one, what we have to do is analysis and investigate the assessment to identify the gap between the TVT and university. And the second one is there is education curriculum problems are there. Everybody knows the curriculums and what we are the curriculum can able to respond the questions of the community and can able to solve the problems of the community that we have to be emphasis on, and we have to be contextualized. As my friend said, the curriculum should be contextualized based upon the community need and interests. And then we should create technical support between the university and TVT colleges. And the most important thing is each other they can able to sharing the knowledge each other. Most of the time, as we try to mention in a group, the people are undermine TVTs by itself. We don't give as such clue about the TVTs. Really, there is a strong and helpful importance on TVTs practical skills. So they can able to integrate and exchange the knowledge between industries and TVT colleges. Between in industry or in a university, there is theoretical knowledge, as we know. In TVT, there is a practical knowledge. If we can exchange the skill, human power each other, we can able to do more on what we are doing on and where we want to go. The other one is we have to be capacitate TVT to improve and upgrade the educational level of community and initiate the center of excellence, integrate program between TVTs and the university. By itself, the program should be integrated each other's. And this center of excellency between those people have its own contribution on the Horn and East of Africa. Actually, as we all know, we have border and neighbor countries. We have Djibouti, Eritrea are there, and Kenya, Somaliland, and so on. We can integrate it, and it has on positive impact on the Horn and East Africa, working together between pastoral and agro-pastoral community. Can you skip? And we have to be setting a common goal to produce effective and efficient program. Integrating research activity, community-oriented research must be initiated. In different universities, they are mentioned their own what we are doing on between the TVT and the university. They try to skip, please. Can you speak? Yes, and yes, the colleges have their own. Even if there is a gap, they try to make some sort of linking with the TVT. And right now we have to be integrated at each other's end. We have to do more and more. They said the problem is that the benchmark that we are taking to develop curriculum between the German, from the England, we cannot able to contextualize about what we have from the existing problems. That's the problem. We have to be contextualized in our community manner, the group mentioned. And the lack of skill human power are there. If we are working together, the sky has not limit. The problem, work and chalk, that's the problem. Begin within this in mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I hope, just the most important thing he mentioned, just there should be integration between the university and the TVTs, because he's going to address, Samara University is going to address the video last time we watched during the pre-conference, so that, that should be addressed. You have to really assist the Gawane and the other vocational and educational training centers, because that makes it strong and just marketable to the private sector and for flagship government programs. So that please keep up. It's not only the Samara University, Haramaya University, the Godek Abridhar, Jigjiga University, all this should support, and you have to have, a short courses just in order to capacitate even the teachers, so that, they can really produce a very productive people. ስለዚህ ይሄንን አደራ ጭምር ነው የምንለው። እንደ በአይነ ቁራኛ ሳይሆን እንደ ወገን አሰባችሁ እነሱን የማጠንከር ኃላፊነት አለባችሁ። ስለዚህ ባለፈው በፕሪ ኮንፈረንስ ላይ አይተናል። አንድ አርብቶ አደር ልጅ ተመርቆ ጨርሶ እምነት የሚሰጠው ሰው አጥቶ ስራ አጥቶ በቪዲዮ ላይም እዚህ ተመልክተናል። ስለዚህ ይሄ አይነቱ ጉዳይ አድሬስ መሆን አለበት እና ራይታቸው ነው፣ ግን ኳሊቲ ሆኖ መቅረብ መቻል አለባቸው እና ይሄ ብዙ መረጃዎችም አሉ። ከዩኒቨርሲቲው ጋር መገናኘቱ በጣም ጥሩ ነው። ቴንክ ዩ ቬሪ ማች። አንድ ጊዜ ለግሩፑ በሙሉ ለሰሩት እናመሰግናለን። በጣም አሪፍ ጥሩ ነው።